What's poppin' YouTube? It's your boy Big Ursa coming at you with another reaction. We're gonna talk about the problems about We're gonna look at another legendary drops reaction about Pokemon ZA. This time, I heard a lot of things about it, and it don't sound all that good. It's a lot of predatorial things, like if you want to get you want to be like a master Pokemon master, you gotta get all You gotta get all. You gotta get uh you get all Ultimate Evolutions, but you have to specifically get them by having a subscription to Nintendo, and you have to qualify in the oh shit, my bad. You have to qualify into the tournaments and stuff, which is like I believe it's gonna be seasonal, and I don't remember what Pokemon is for. But I know it's about for three of them, three of the main ones. I think maybe Crocodile, Greninja is another one, which sucks. It's making sense. I don't think it's making sense. It's all for it's for all the starters, and it sucks. It's not cool. And I'm assuming Legendary Drop's gonna talk about it, of course. And yeah, I waste your time long enough. All right, let's go ahead and get into it.
What am I even supposed to say about this game? Even if you're not into Pokemon, this video is going to be really interesting because Pokemon Legends ZA is the laziest AAA game I have ever seen. The best word to be able to describe it is transactional, because that's what the experience feels like. The game has some high points, we'll talk about that, but they phoned it in so hard, knowing that their audience would not only buy it, but stand around and defend it. We're talking about a $70 game that has copy-pasted assets, half-finished animations, talking animations with no voice acting for some odd reason. I don't know why any.
Hey, that is kind of true. Real quick, that is kind of true, actually. For a from $60 to $70 game, you would think you get voice acting like God of War has voice acting, Call of Duty has voice acting. Well, it's not good with that one. That one's not all that good. But still, that's besides the point. That's setting the standard, right? You pay all this money, and you're not getting your money's worth. Zach, so, like, to this day, it's
good to finally meet.
This how many years? How many years? How many years it's been? Ever since the 90s or the 80s, Pokemon came out, and there's still no voice acting. And that's crazy. I can't even get pictures say Pikachu, bro. Come on, man. Come on, that's foul. It's childish, man.
But he greenlit that. The game is just so lifeless. And as somebody who hasn't played these games since Black and White, what happened to the monster designs?
Yeah, me too.
The amount of money that people have invested into this franchise just makes it all the more disgusting. It's not what this game specifically is. It's about how much they're charging for it and what this franchise actually should be, the kind of games that they should be making. Oh, you know, I grew up on Pokemon. I loved it when I was a kid. You know, as proof, I got them around here somewhere. Here you go. Yeah. I have gym badges from when I was a little kid, and I used to play in local card shops. These things are old as all hell. I loved it, and I'm so happy that that little kid never grew up to see what this franchise turned into. This is the most popular media franchise in the history of Earth. They make more money than 145 countries do their GDP. By all accounts, these should be the best games ever made, and there's no challenger whatsoever. But that's just not what these games are. And it goes to show that even when these companies are successful, even when you give them your support, even when you give them your money, the minimum viable product is still the target. So today I want to talk about...
Bro, yeah, real quick. When was it? When them little like dirt bike dragon things came out? What was that last? Wherever they are. That's like the first time I started to see poor quality control, in my opinion. When a little dirt bike Pokemon came out, motorcycle. I started seeing bugs. I like bugs go lower. I never just like this sucks. It's tragic. Spending like how much was that? $60? And now it's like 80. I mean 70. Someone went up $10, but still, you still have these mistakes. Still has a bunch of glitches in it. And that sucks.
my experience playing Pokemon Legends.
What are you
ZA.
paying for?
I want
What am I paying for?
talk about the depths of greed they reach that I didn't even think were possible, and showcase how indie games and even their own games are making these games look foolish. I want to talk about how little time Pokemon has left, because the average age of their audience is 32 years old. That's not good. Pokemon meant a lot to me. I collected the cards, played in tournaments, woke up early to watch the anime before school. I still remember sitting in the backseat of my mom's car just after she got off work, waiting for the streetlights to pass so I could get another look at the screen of my Game Boy for just a second. Pokemon was how I made friends. It was genius marketing on the side of these guys. 2 versions of the same game, exclusive Pokemon in each, evolutions that only happened through trading. It forced you to go out and meet people. And for me,
right there, right now, that was a sign right there. You literally playing the same exact game, except you might get a different Pokemon. We should have known better then. And like, dang, this is why. So I hadn't played Pokemon in a long time. The first Pokemon game I played was Black and White, and like I played both of them. I was noticed like, oh wow, it's the same damn game. I don't think there was a huge difference. I'm saying what the villains and the legendary, but that's it, dog. I was like, oh wow, wow. I really wasted money. No, wow, this is ridiculous. I enjoyed it, but like, golly, like he could have put this all in one game. To be honest,
it worked. Without Pokemon, I probably wouldn't have evolved into the social butterfly I am today. And honestly, we probably wouldn't even be talking right now. But Pokemon also opened the door to the rest of the genre for me. It led me to games like Golden Sun, Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger, Grandia 2, games that showed me what RPGs could be. And as I played those games, I drifted away from Pokemon. You could say that it was just me growing up, but that's not really true,
probably
because
I
didn't stop
the
liking
jump off.
Pokemon. I
The better
stopped
games.
because those games were giving me something that Pokemon never did. They kept evolving. More customization, more unique art direction, deeper combat systems, stronger narratives, while Pokemon just stayed the exact same.
For the most part,
Now, here I am all these years later watching the same franchise that I grew up with turn into a social media war zone. Every single time somebody tries to criticize the game, a half a dozen self-appointed defenders come out swinging, calling it
Oh,
grifting,
you're
misinformation,
so
or something.
right. You are so right. Oh, where did that come from? Bro, you are so right. I forgot. I played Power. That motherfucker really did look that beautiful. It really did look that beautiful. Oh my gosh. And like, to keep it a buck, ever since it went 3D, it has remained about the same, man. It looks like a damn PSP game. Like a better HD collection PSP game. But that's about it. It never got better than that. I want to actually argue Coliseum on the GameCube look way better than recent times. These recent Pokemon games.
Dozen self-appointed defenders come out swinging, calling it grifting, misinformation, or some coordinated smear campaign against the Pokemon Company. It's just so stupid. Meanwhile, the games journalists that have been screaming about toxic fandoms are the ones that are definitionally grifting, pumping out headlines like, it's official, Pokemon beats Digimon, then 5 days later posting, Digimon Time Strangers officially beats Pokemon. It's embarrassing. So I decided to cut through all the noise and just play the game myself. The best word that I can use to describe this game is transactional. It's just going through the motions. It's about as
Hey, what's the point of the moving the mouse? But there's no voice acting. I'm gonna keep it a buck. They actually do way better in other games. Case in point, Legend of Zelda. That. What else? There is. They even did that in Smash Brothers, Splatoon. You don't know what the hell they're saying, but you got full-on voice acting in it. You don't know what the fuck they're saying, but like it's there. You know, for the immersion.
Lack of voice acting in this game is what really does it, and this is so bad. They should just use static images. You have full cinematic scenes, lips moving, dramatic gestures, not a single spoken word. You hear abilities that are going off, footsteps echoing, and other sound effects, everything other than the characters themselves. It is so jarring. It's so awkward, and it kills any tension the story's trying to build or emotion that they're trying to convey, and we know why it's like this. Voice acting costs money, it takes time, it requires effort, and those are 3 things that Nintendo refuses to give this franchise. I think the world of this game is a perfect reflection of its creators. Lifeless, bland, corporate. Exploration feels pointless. It's either empty corridors or weird scaffolding sections that are pretending to be platforming. You can't even climb something that is knee high. Instead, you're dodge rolling off of ledges, which I swear they're trying to emulate from Elden Ring, but they just butchered it in the process. The platforms are tiny, the movement is clunky, and everything just feels wrong. The city itself, what were you guys thinking? You have to use the map, otherwise you're going to get lost instantly because everything looks the same. It's the same streets, the same shops, the same windows, the same buildings, copy and pasted across the entire thing. It's a city with about as much identity as the repetitive fat guy NPC you keep popping into alleyways. And for a
Well, dang, dog, you make it sound like it's Sonic 06. I know they didn't spend a lot of money on that. You make it sound like that. Golly.
looking, especially when you compare it to some of the other anime-inspired games that we've seen over the years, like the Tales games, Xenoblade Chronicles, Digimon Time Strangers, as an example.
Damn.
Indie games are putting way more effort into their visual expression.
Yeah.
Hades,
Hell
Hollow
yeah.
Knight,
And that guy-
Beast, all these things ooze with personality. Legend ZA looks like it was made in a corporate lab. Now, I will give them this. I do actually like the direction they're going in with the new battle system. It's faster, more dynamic. It reminds me a lot of Power World. You can chain moves together. You actually have to think about move speed and range. It feels pretty good, and I really like the touch of being able to use AoE attacks on groups of monsters when you're farming. The mega battles, those are cool in concept, but the entire thing just feels half-finished. You're supposed to dodge attacks, pick up orbs, reposition, and then time your mega evolution, but the whole thing just collapses under its own controls. You have to exit the targeting and skills menu so that you can dodge, which turns every single fight into this clumsy dance of just running around in circles while your Pokemon does nothing and you just struggle to retarget the enemy.
That's a
There
bit
are just so many
unfortunate.
unfinished ideas here, and they feel like they're painted over the
okay.
entire game, and it just makes the
very
entire
unfortunate.
experience feel like it's indifferent. Like there's just a lack of care, and that lack of care is a slap in the face for anybody who has been supporting this franchise for decades. Is Legend ZA the worst game that I've ever played? No, but
Nah.
given what Pokemon is, what it represents, and how much money it makes, it might be the most insulting. I don't even think this is just late.
Also, I'm glad he brought that up. Legend ZA it took approximately $21 million to make this, and $21 million to make this game. Need I mind you, previous ancestors of this game have been way more expensive. So this is technically one of the handfuls of cheaper budgets for these Pokemon games. And it was like, that's not a lot of money to be sneezing at. I was like, maybe a mil, 2, 3. You telling me gangbusters amount of money, 21 million, and this is what you get? It's crazy, man. Where did all that money go? Where did it go? Where was it allocated to? Is there a money laundering scheme going on? Allegedly. No, so long, allegedly. Is there money laundering going on? Where is the money going? I don't understand. Where is it going to?
I feel like it's more exploitation than anything else. Like they're just trying to squeeze every last drop from the fans that are still showing up no matter what. You know, in 2024 alone, the Pokemon Company grossed over $12 billion. Lifetime, over $100 billion. Franchise in history, and according to leaks from a former Nintendo employee, Legend ZA had a budget of just $13 million. 13. For context,
13.
that is what most
Oh, my information was wrong. Ooh, my information was wrong. It was actually 13 million. That's even lower.
indie AA productions use. And
Dang, I gave them grace. It was actually 13 million, not 21.
this is the flagship entry for the biggest entertainment property on planet Earth. Now, if you guys have watched this channel for any length of time, you guys already know that I want these studios to spend less money, that photorealism, hair physics, and marketing budgets do not make better games. But this, guys, this is just neglect. They're not saving money because they're smart. Well, I mean, they are, because they know that people are still going to keep buying the stuff anyway, but they're saving money because they don't care. And that's what makes it so disgusting. It's just the complete absence of respect for the audience that made them. I mean, it's not like spending money would magically fix Pokemon's problems. I understand that. It definitely wouldn't, but it would at least show they cared enough to try. We live in a time in which games like Expedition 33, a debut small studio, cost, in the words of Sandfall's CEO, less than Mirror's Edge, which means that's somewhere between $15 and $25 million, and that game was stunning. So I don't care what anybody says. Expedition 33 is one of the best games that I've played in the last decade. It stands shoulder to shoulder with games like Elden Ring, Black Myth Wukong, and
This game was how much? 25 to 30? What is that? 20, what is that?
least showed they cared enough to try. We live in a time in which games like Expedition 33, a debut project from a small studio, cost, in the words of Sandfall's CEO, less than Mirror's Edge, which means that's somewhere between 15 and 25 million.
25 million. That's just a teeny tiny bit more than Pokemon. That's a cinematic masterpiece, man. Come on, man.
I don't care what anybody
This
says.
is 15 to 25 million.
That I've played in the last decade. It's
cinematic. It's crazy.
Look at this. Like Elden Ring, Black Myth Wukong, and Baldur's Gate 3 in terms of impact. But that game redefined turn-based combat for the modern era. Its music, story, its art direction, all distinct, cohesive, and unforgettable. That's what happens when a team actually gives a damn about what they're making. The money doesn't really matter in that case. From where I'm standing, Nintendo and Game Freak clearly don't, and I think it's obvious. People seem to have already forgotten that Game Freak announced Beast of Reincarnation, a third-person action RPG that's coming out next year, and that game looks gorgeous. The creature designs, the art direction, the atmosphere, it all looks leagues ahead of what they've been doing with Pokemon for years. So it's not that that studio lacks talent, it's just that the resources aren't there and the passion isn't either. I think what we're seeing right now is rot on two ends. On one side, you have Nintendo and the Pokemon Company that are deliberately funneling resources away from the games, maximizing profit, minimizing effort, keeping investors fat while their product is withering. On the other side, Game Freak, they just look exhausted. Whether it's burnout, low budgets, or 30 years of making the exact same game with a different name, they're done. And I think it shows. Every texture, every animation, every half-hearted mechanic just radiates with, we don't have the money to do it. And honestly, we don't care.
You do have the money.
At this point, I think it's really hard for me to call this creative failure because it just feels like policy, a calculated decision to do less, spend less, and give less. Because the brand alone is going to sell it. Pokemon isn't a game anymore. It's a machine that exists just to merchandise, to sell cards, to sell plushies under the illusion of a new adventure every few years. And the worst part is they know exactly what they're doing. They know that the name alone guarantees profit, at least for now, and they know that critics will be drowned out by nostalgia, or they're just going to get bought into it just the same. They know that the lowest effort imaginable is still just going to generate billions.
Look, I think it's fine. I really do think it's fine. I really do think it's fine that you people still enjoy Pokemon, man. It's cool. It's really cool. Everybody grew up with Pokemon, man. Everybody grew up with Pokemon. Everybody's played the game at least once or twice. Everybody knew somebody who had the game. You buy a cartridge or like you buy the car, you know, even Nintendo DS. And like you would think like when you see games like Mario 64 or Legend of Zelda or God of War, these type of games, and like Mirror's Edge, then The Last of Us progressively keeps the graphic quality and cinematic, the music, everything keeps getting always tries to top each other. It is not like that with certain games. Case in point, Pokemon. They refuse to change. The only time they changed is literally when we went full 3D, and it was like what, a few years ago, almost 2 years ago. And I'm just like, it's not enough. I do appreciate the gaming mechanics they put in, like dress type transformations, Mega Evolve forms. Gigantamax, which I could argue maybe you should keep those in all the games, or eventually in the future, real soon, make it and have it in every game. Yeah. But like, I understand people like really enjoy this game as you should. You should enjoy this game. It's your childhood. It's the thing you put so many hours in as a kid. It's you grew to love. You probably have friends and family put you on, or like you basically in a community and stuff like that. But what I'm trying to say is it's okay to want more. It's really okay to want more. If you realize if you're getting gypped out of quality of a game, you should be able to ask for more. This Pokemon game ZA and the games before it are literally a primary example of shrinkflation. Like you get it like shrinkflation, like products get higher and more expensive, but you get less quality. Case in point, everybody has something to say about Cheetos and any type of other bag of chips. They get more air than chips. People online posting it, like, I got 3 chips in this bag, and it's just full of air. Like, what's going on? And it's like, And that's how I see it with Pokemon, man. More, but you have less than the average AAA game. Because technically, it's kind of on par with AAA game. I bet if you look at sales, it's on par with AAA games, and it's not doing. It's not giving that. It's not give the product isn't giving that it's on the same level as AAA game, and that's sad. It's sad. You should want more. You deserve more. You deserve more. It's not fair to you. You deserve more for paying. How many years you've been paying? What we started off at 40, then went full 3D to 60, then now it's 70. I, I think you deserve more. With budgets like 21 million, 13, 15 million, 22, 24 million dollars in these games, you deserve more and you should want more. Especially in this economy. You got the golden number one rule. You should get your money's worth. Enough said. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. All right.
This whole thing just feels like a luxury tax on loyalty. That's what it is. It's a penalty for caring too much, for enjoying something a little bit too much, for all the flack that they threw at Power World, the lawsuits, the patent drama, the media hit pieces. God, those guys really did not like that game. But at least that game, in almost every way, feels like a much stronger experience. And it cost $30. 30. You were free in that game. You could explore massive areas, mechanics that went way beyond creature collection and combat, seamless co-op and multi-platform support, the kind of features Nintendo should have been delivering years ago. Say what you will about Power World, but at least that game respected your time and your money. Meanwhile, Nintendo has been getting away with just selling your childhood back to you for decades at full price.
That is true. That is true. Though Power World does not have voice acting in the sense, but they do have animal noises in it. There's at least animal noises in it. There's you have good bro. I can punch a tree and hear it break. I can hear it literally vibrate. I can hear the leaves fall off the tree. I can if I want to craft something, I can literally hear a bunch of hammer hitting, moving things around. I have you have the pals themselves, their moves and stuff. Most of them have like audios and stuff. Like that game, though it was not on par technically. I mean, it's a good contender against Pokemon, man. It's a good contender, man. It really is. It really is.
And honestly, the most frustrating part is that Pokemon isn't even unique in this. It's just the most obvious example of what's been happening to every major franchise. Most of these guys started the same way, small, passionate, and honest about what they wanted to be. But the longer that we stayed loyal to them, the more they have taken from us. They first cut content and sold it back to us as DLC. Then they started shipping broken games and monetizing those fixes with microtransactions. Then came the price hikes, the deluxe editions, the battle passes. And through all of it, the focus quietly shifted away from making something fun or interesting into just extracting as much value from the customer as possible. You can see this going on everywhere right now. Call of Duty hasn't had an original idea in years. Halo lost its identity with its studio. Dragon Age is probably dead by now. Mass Effect's probably going to go along with it. Assassin's Creed has turned into historical tourism with a battle pass and social messaging. Ubisoft's entire catalog just feels like a corporate template that's just been copy and pasted all over the place. And it's not just games, it's the whole entertainment industry. Every single movie, TV show, or whatever else is just a remake or reboot. Every comic universe has been force-fed into the ground, and none of this stuff is being made for us anymore. These companies are not thinking about creativity or fatigue or how these people are supposed to be paying for all of this. These guys are just so well insulated
Crew,
that they can't even see the inevitable collapse that's coming. Because while nostalgia might keep some of these older audiences buying in for a while, it's just not sustainable. Younger generations do not have that same emotional attachment. The warning signs have been flashing for nearly a decade, but none of these guys at the top seem to care. Back in 2017, right after the release of Sun and Moon, Nintendo said at their financial briefing that Pokemon fans were older than ever. Most of their sales were coming from players in their 20s and 30s. Fast forward 8 years later, Gem Partners surveyed Japanese audiences and found that the average Pokemon player is now 32. 32 for a series that is supposed to be aimed at 5 and 12-year-olds. That number should terrify them, because when your audience stops being replaced by new...
I don't know why the game itself is catered to a 5-year-old. You know, don't get their shit rocked. Come on now, let's be real. Don't get their shit rocked. It shouldn't be catered to. It should be actually catered to unironically, 10-year-olds and up, in my opinion.
Players, the clock starts ticking. How do none of these guys realize how quickly they are running out of time? You could only live off nostalgia for so long before it turns into a mausoleum. And I've been thinking about this a lot lately, not just with Nintendo, but with a lot of these massive publishers and how they're operating, and a lot of other businesses, because it's actually starting to make me think I want to talk about other things outside of gaming at some point, because this problem is not unique to games. It's everywhere right now. There is this generation of executives and boardroom lifers that seem obsessed with maximizing profits right now, with zero concern to what it does to their industry, to their employees, or their customers. They're just draining value out of everything they touch, giving us less, charging us more, and pretending like it's innovation. I look at what's happening with AI right now, and I think it's complicated. I'm a supporter of it. I think that most of the outrage around AI is just social media virtue signaling. Hating AI is just a trendy stance to take right now, while most of these people are probably using it themselves. You can see people also online saying it's never going to get better. It'll never do this better than a human. It'll never replace that, as if that argument hasn't been recycled for every major technological leap in history. But damn, man, it feels like every single company on Earth is overcommitting way too early. They're firing staff, gutting departments, tanking the quality of their products in some cases, all for short-term savings from a technology that is still in its infancy. And that's not AI being the problem. It's the people that are using it and why they are. It's the obsession with cost-cutting, the blindness to the long-term impact, the complete disregard for the human side of this equation. They're not thinking about how these decisions are going to ripple out, that fewer jobs mean fewer customers, and that the faster that they automate, the faster they strangle the very market that they depend on by outpacing the demand of their customers. These are people who, frankly, won't even be around to see the damage that they're causing. They're going to cash out. They're going to retire. They're going to leave behind this hollowed out landscape where nothing's going to grow. It's just greed without direction, a final sprint towards an end that they're never going to have to live with. And that just makes this so pathetic and disgusting to me. Look, this is not some anti-capitalism speech. It's just bad business in my eyes. You can't keep gutting out the soul of your franchises and your products and expect people to stick around forever. In the short term, players are going to adapt. They're going to move on. They're going to find other studios to support. But in the long term, these companies are going to be left with absolutely nothing. No goodwill, no audience, no talent left to build the future. Just emptied out brands and burned out employees.
Yep.
32 years old. That is not a good number, my friends. Not for a company and not for a franchise that requires both its TV show and its games to continue to push the rest of its merchandise. That's the reason why Pokemon has been so powerful as a brand and why they made so much money and why it's been so big for so many years. And it's because it's this monster of industry. It's this carousel of content that just keeps feeding right back into itself. But if one of those gears stops spinning, frozen in time, well, then the entire thing starts to break down and it all stops working. And I think that's probably what's going to end up happening to Pokemon if they don't get themselves back on track and start actually making products of good quality, making games of good quality, because you're basically ruining your entire onboarding system. And it's been that way for a long time for these guys, since 2017 or probably even before that. I find it hilarious that Nintendo came out with Mario Kart World saying that game was $80 because of variable pricing, and that they were going to be pricing these games based off of the cost to make them and the experience that they deliver to the player. So tell me, where is that variable pricing in a game that only cost you $20 million or less than $20 million to make, and it treats the players like it's Attack on Titan, shoving them behind the wall of Maria? It just goes to prove it's all a lie. I'm so sick of this. This is the whole reason I make videos like this. The whole reason why I talk about a lot of these issues is because none of the things that these companies are saying is real. And somebody has to be out there calling them out on their bullshit, because that's exactly what they're doing. They're just blatantly lying to people. They keep trying to feed you slop and treat it like it's filet mignon. And every single time one of these games come out, and when they cut out content, or when the game doesn't work, or when the game fails, they have this long list of excuses. And none of it's true. It's all just corporate parcel tongue meant to gaslight you into believing like they actually care when they very clearly do not. You know, I've seen people trying to make videos essentially trying to send a message to the fans, trying to talk about the constant back and forth between the people that are criticizing the game and the people that are defending the game. And my best advice to that kind of stuff is just don't even do it. It's just not worth it, because in a lot of cases, people do not want somebody else to tell them how to spend their money, or that a decision that they made or a purchase that they made was a bad one. Because at the end of the day, we all do the exact same thing. I'm included in this conversation. We all make purchases against our best interests. We all buy things that just make absolutely no sense, and from companies that we should definitely not be supporting, because we just want something. And sometimes when you want something, that's just going to be enough. And there are enough people, at least 32 and up, that really want Pokemon, and they're going to keep buying it. So the only thing that you can do is just put your opinion out there and hope somebody listens to it. That's what I do.
All right.
I think that for Pokemon, it's only a matter of time. You can only keep doing this for so long, and they've been doing it for a while now, and it's only been getting worse, and they're not alone in it, and I think it's not going to be good. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did enjoy the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter.
Yeah, that.
I usually
man
try to
said.
post my videos Tuesdays and Fridays. There's been some stuff going on in the background lately. It's made a little...
All right, man. That was a good video. W video. Am I subscribed to it? I am not. I am on my other account, though. But yeah, like he said, I do agree with that. Everybody makes a poor purchase, you know, a poor choice in a purchase. You can't tell no one, you can't tell them, like, I mean, you can try all you want, but like, you have to reach the conclusion themselves. You have to reach the conclusion yourself. And that's how I see it. Like you said, and that's how I see it. And yeah, I 100% agree with them. And yeah, that's gonna be the end of the video, man. But like Mr. Legendary Drops video will be in the description. Link to him. Please subscribe. He deserves it. Man's been resin. I've been on his wavelength, and I'm like, yep, this is everything I feel. This is everything I been thinking, and he's just saying it out loud. I fucks with it. But hey, man, yeah. Yeah, like, share, subscribe, especially for Mr. Legendary Drops, especially him. He deserves it more than me. In the meantime, stay safe. Good night. I will be seeing you later. And I'm trying to get over this throat infection. And wish me luck. Stay safe. Good night.